So, why do almost all chips smell like farts when you open them?
I'm Frazee.
And I'm Rico.
And we can answer that.
Welcome to Hashtag Answers,
where we answer questions you may or may not care if we answer.
So let's begin.
Alright, first question from Wheezy, I think. That's actually Lil Wayne, probably. He asks, why do almost all chips smell like farts when you open them? Well, actually...
coming from a scientific standpoint, that's probably the nitrogen gas that they store the chips in.
Actually, it's methane, because there's a little guy in every chip factory. This is fact. I saw on Disney Channel. There's this fat guy in every chips little thing, and right before they seal the chips, he goes over and takes a little fart right in every bag.
Is he like one of those people who make the cookies? The Weebler dudes?
Or Keebler elves?
Keebler elves, yeah.
Weebler. No, he's just a fat guy that likes to fart in chips bags, so he thinks it's funny.
Well, good for him.
Yep. Alright, let's go to the next question. Randall L asks, study or nap?
Well, maybe you should nap and then nap more.
It's always nap, because this is how I look at it. Unless you're going to take your exam, like, right at that moment, there's always more time to study, because you can
there's always time to study.
You know? Even if you're, like, sitting in there before it starts, that's time to study. So as far as I'm concerned, you can take a nap as long as you want, and you'll still have time to study.
You take a nap when you're studying, too.
Yeah. At the same time, you can study and nap.
Yeah, so you could say you're studying even though you're napping, when in fact you are studying.
It's called strapping.
I do that sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, next question by Hasbro Film asks, if my Uncle Jack helps me off a horse, is it okay for me to help my Uncle Jack off an elephant?
Is that supposed to be sexual?
How does he help you off your horse if he's on an elephant?
Well, I think the whole point of the question is to help your Uncle Jack off an elephant.
Oh, they're like two separate occasions?
Like,
he helps you off a horse, and then like a couple months later...
No.
He helps you off an elephant?
No.
So it's simultaneous?
No, you help your Uncle Jack off an elephant.
But then...
It's got a double entendre.
I'm confused. You lost me.
Well, if you're helping your Uncle Jack off a horse, it's definitely okay for you to help your Uncle Jack off an elephant, but he has to get on the elephant first.
Question. Yeah. How do you get on the elephant? Do
you need a ladder?
Or you just Superman and fly up there?
Or maybe you teleport. You just go, and then you're gone.
Or you just freaking grab two butter knives. Yeah! Just climb your way up the side of it.
That seems the most logical to me.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Alright, this next guy, his name is Fantees, asks, isn't eating a muffin for breakfast just the same as eating cake for breakfast?
Well, cake has icing and is a lot sweeter. It's probably a lot more fattening.
There's fruit in a muffin.
Sometimes.
Fruit is, you probably have 10 to 12 fruits in one muffin.
That's a lot of fruits. Do you think there's vegetables in muffins?
A rhubarb muffin.
Don't they have...
Is there a rhubarb muffin?
Do they have a vegetable cake?
What is a rhubarb pie? Is that what it is?
A rhubarb?
Yeah, you know what rhubarb is? It's like a weird little vegetable.
So fancy tea. Yeah, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just go yeah.
I think that was the first yes we've ever answered.
Abby Wilson asks, how come every time I wake up my comforter ends up backwards and half off my bed?
Maybe you sleep like a dingus.
Did the tooth fairy come?
I got 2 words for you.
Oh, what?
It's called duct tape.
Tape it around you.
Yeah, tape yourself around
like
the
cocoon.
bed. And then tape your face so you can't breathe. And then when you don't wake up the next morning, then you're not going to be backwards half off your bed.
Mm-hmm. But my situational answer would be, did the tooth fairy come? Because I heard the tooth fairy is very rough sometimes.
Oh, the tooth fairy fucks you up.
You know, like she's like, you know, like slapping you around looking for the tooth. Like, she doesn't really care very much about you and your sleeping or your comfort or anything. So, let's move on to the next question from Cello Nike asks, am I a human or a kite?
What kind of question is that?
You could be like a human kite if like some type of serial killer killed you and using your skin to fly a kite.
What about one of those dragon kites?
Dragon kite?
Yeah, like the Chinese use.
With the, like the long tail and everything?
Yeah.
Could that be human?
I don't know. I mean, kites don't have a heartbeat, but a dragon has a heartbeat.
If you're a kite, you probably only live if there's wind. It's like a shark, like they can only live if they're swimming.
Yeah, like fish.
You know?
So you know what?
Better move to Chicago, Windy City.
Yeah.
That's your only place to survive.
Or else you're not a human.
You're gonna die.
Yeah.
Because wind is your food.
Sorry.
Sorry, I have a twitch. Next one from Sarah, I think she's probably a snake, asks, why did my parents choose to live in a state with nothing but a bunch of damn cornfields? You live in Nebraska, don't you?
No, she definitely lives in California.
Nebraska is Cornhuskers.
It's the state.
Yeah.
Can that be classified as like Russia?
I think their motto is like the corn state, isn't it?
I thought that was Ohio.
Oh. So you live in Ohio?
Or could it be...
I feel like it's Nebraska,
could it be
though.
Washington?
Well, Nebraska, I'm pretty sure their college mascot is... Or not mascot, their name is the Cornhuskers.
Nebraska?
I think.
Husk some corn there, Sarah.
Alright, let's go to the next one. Asian Fever asks, should I get my nipples pierced?
You dude? You chick?
I feel like either way it's a little strange.
It is a little strange.
But I mean, if you're going to get attention, then you should probably do it. So then when you're at the beach, you're like taking your shirt off.
You're like, yo, look at this.
Yo, that's a good pickup line. You could be like, you just go up to somebody at the boardwalk this summer and just be like, hey baby, check out my nipple piercing. Good icebreaker as far as I'm concerned.
Fine with me.
If a girl ever did that to me,
I'd wife that. Put a ring right on that. Sorry.
Last question from Thomas Does Fart asks, if a fat girl falls in the woods, do the trees laugh? Falling's hilarious.
Especially if you're fat.
Makes it double funny. So,
but
trees don't have mouths.
Trees don't. Yeah, they can't laugh.
No.
So no, Thomas farts.
Unless you live in a Lord of the Rings movie and there's those Ents that run around. But I feel like
the Ents.
I feel like they're like kind of boring. Like they wouldn't really think it's funny anyway. Cause they're just kind of like with like hobbits on their shoulders, and they don't really laugh. I feel like I don't think I really laughed once. So thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Hashtag Answers. Make sure you post your questions at the bottom of this video,
or go on Twitter and use the hashtag A or the hashtag questions and ask us your question.
Be sure to tune in every Thursday for a new episode of Hashtag Answers.
And thank you guys for watching once again.
Good.